We were on a group camping trip in the middle of nowhere, deep in the Arizona desert, when I woke up to the sound of something sniffing right outside our tent. At first, I assumed it had to be a bear or some wild animal. Maybe my idiot friends didn't tie up the trash properly again. But then the sniffing sound moved to the tent next to ours. Inside my tent, all of us quietly grabbed each other, silently confirming we were all awake, all listening to the same unsettling sound circling our campsite. A few moments later, one of our friends in another tent suddenly unzipped the flap, jumped out, and began shouting at the top of his lungs. He even had his gun out, trying to scare off whatever creature was there. Except it wasn't a creature. It was a man. Some random guy had gone through our coolers, rummaged through our food, and then decided it was perfectly normal to sniff our tents while we slept. Our friend chased him off, and without saying a word, we all immediately packed our gear and got the hell out of there. 1 year later, because my friends and I don't learn from trauma, we went camping in the same area again, thinking the whole thing had just been a one-time fluke. This time, we thought we'd be clever. Instead of camping in tents, we all slept in the beds of our trucks and SUVs. You know, because nobody can sniff a Toyota Tacoma, right? It was the middle of the night when I suddenly felt a bright light hit my face. Normally, I would have woken up and yelled, but something in me knew instantly. Don't move. Don't let them know you're awake. I stayed perfectly still next to my girlfriend, hoping she understood and would keep pretending to sleep. The only sound around us was one friend snoring near the campfire. The light eventually moved away from my SUV, but then I heard footsteps, slow, deliberate, walking toward the next truck and shining the light on my friends sleeping there. I cracked my eyes open just enough to see him. An older man, just standing there, staring at each one of us while we slept. The moment he walked away from the campsite, I bolted out of the truck and woke everybody up. Turns out several of them had also been awake the whole time, pretending to sleep, and had seen him too. Don't camp anywhere near Tucson, Arizona, unless you want some real-life, hills have eyes creep, sniffing your tents and shining lights on you while you sleep. I live in a rural mountain town surrounded by endless forest, so camping is basically a weekly thing for us, winter included. Out of all the nights I've spent out there, there's one that still gets under my skin. A few years back, my buddy and I split from our main group of 16 to 19-year-olds to camp near a better fishing spot about a mile away. We only brought one tent for the whole group, so the two of us built a lean-to against a huge boulder in a moonlit clearing. Sometime late into the night, I snapped awake with that unmistakable feeling of being watched. At first, I figured it was just a mountain lion. They're common around here, and honestly, if you understand their behavior, they aren't that big a deal. So I tossed a few more logs on the fire to keep everything bright. When I looked up from the flames, I froze. Under the pale light of the full moon, about 80 yards away, a man was standing at the very edge of the clearing. Perfectly still, facing us, just watching. My brain refused to react. I couldn't speak, couldn't move, couldn't even wake my friend. I just sat there, locked in place, staring back into the tree line. For a minute or two, though it felt much longer, he didn't budge. Then, without a single word or gesture, he walked off in the opposite direction and vanished into the woods. I don't think he meant any harm. Maybe he was just passing through. But that didn't stop me from sitting there the rest of the night, holding my friend's .357, listening for every twig snap and rustle in the dark. I didn't call out or wave because I was terrified, completely frozen. I was only 16 and very inexperienced. Nowadays, I'd probably shout and try to figure out what's going on. And just to clarify, the mountain lions aren't the scary part. I've been stalked by them and come face to face a few times. As long as you understand them, they're manageable. It's the humans in the woods you have to worry about.